named King James. He ordered all of the people to
go to my church.
If they refused, he put them in jail. One group of people did not like the king's church. They wanted to worship in their own way. One night, it was very dark. They got on a big ship and sailed across the waters to find a new home. This group of people were called pilgrims. A pilgrim is one who travels from country to country. They sailed to Holland, the land of the Dutch people. Holland is a land of windmills and canals. In Holland, the pilgrims were free to worship God the way they thought was right.
Yes, Lord! Thank you, Lord!
The Dutch people were very kind to them. The boys and girls played like the Dutch children and soon learned to wear wooden shoes like their Dutch friends. The pilgrim boys and girls began to speak the Dutch language. And although the pilgrim mothers and fathers were very happy in Holland, they didn't want their children to grow up to be Dutch people. They began to talk about America. In America, they could have their own church, and their children would speak English and grow up to be English men and women. So they decided to leave Holland and sail to America. On September 21st, 1620, 102 pilgrims, 2 dogs, and a cat sailed across the ocean in a ship called the Mayflower. It was a terrible trip. The ship wasn't built to carry people and was very crowded. The food was bad. The ocean got very rough and part of the ship broke. Many people became ill. And one man died. Born during the voyage, and the pilgrims gave thanks to God.
Yes, Lord! Thank you, Lord!
The baby was named Oceanus. For 65 days, the Mayflower sailed, When through God's provision, the ship reached the New World in November. Men went ashore to find a safe place for the group to live. It took a few weeks until they found a little harbor with fresh water, forests, and open land for building. The water in the bay was deep enough for ships. There was a big rock on the shore, so they named it Plymouth Rock. Their very first winter was cold and gray. The pilgrims worked hard in the new land. People got sick. even died. Still, others continued to work side by side. Then, signs of spring brought happiness, and an Indian chief came to visit the pilgrims. All agreed to be friends and to live in peace. An Indian named Squanto stayed to live with the pilgrims. To the pilgrims, Squanto was a teacher and friend. He helped them from sunrise until each day then, showing them how to plant corn and hunt with bow and arrow. By the time the leaves once again turned golden in the fall, enough food for the butcher was stored up for all. The pilgrims, Governor Bradford, declared,
The Lord has been good to us. We shall have a day of Thanksgiving.
they invited their Indian friends. 91 came. Thank goodness they brought along deer to be cooked on open fires. For 3 days they feasted on fish, wild turkey, puddings, baked bread, pumpkin pies, wild cranberries, nuts, and maple sugar. There was time for games too. But most importantly, the pilgrims said,
Thank you, God, for good food. Thank you, God, for good homes. Thank you, God, for good friends.
we hope you can thank God this season just as heartily as the pilgrims did that first Thanksgiving Day in the New World.